The majority of people in the United States build their wealth and their financial future with the equity of their home.
A consumer horror story that's becoming all too real for thousands of homeowners.
And these zombie mortgages are robbing people of the equity.
Mortgages that they thought were paid off a long time ago are actually coming back to haunt them, putting some at risk of ending up on the street.
We know it's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of these loans are still out there on the books. This is a hugely profitable business.
We came to this story in part because we got records on one particular private equity firm. We called them the foreclosure files.
And we decided that we had a unique chance to really get inside this business and figure out how it operated.
We can see how much money people are making.
A lot of times they're able to get 10, 20, even 30 or 40 times their initial investment.
The personal wealth of the individuals in some of these firms has ballooned.
We thought it was an American dream, but it's become quite the American nightmare.
I missed you guys. We got some sun. Had some sun playing out in the lake this weekend.
Vienne is an interesting person who we met through the course of our reporting. And I think her case actually really illustrates that asymmetry of knowledge. So in 2018, ARC bought her loan. And soon thereafter, she got a demand for repayment. The following year, a foreclosure action was filed against her in the local county court in Toledo. By the time this process has started to play out, it's early 2020. The whole world has been plunged into the COVID-19 pandemic. And she's presented with a choice. Do I accept this loan modification that's going to lock me in to all of this back interest and fees, or do I lose the roof over my head?
It was surprising to me because we were current on the first loan, but I don't know if it was a scare tactic to try and get locked into some modification. The amount had already doubled, so it was suspicious to me. I just kind of got really nervous about not paying and not having a home.
One of the things that's so interesting about this trove of documents that we were able to review is we could really understand how one of these businesses organizes itself. So this starts from the process of acquiring these loans, often from banks and other financial firms, to doing the underwriting and due diligence to actually figure out which ones were going to be the best to collect on, to actually having a team of asset managers who were trying to figure out how best they were going to be able to collect on these debts.
It is so explicit that we could see in the spreadsheets that there is, once these pools of loans or loans become profitable, there's even a column that says like in the money, and it was like a yes or no. These are properties that appear in the foreclosure files, right? Yeah. But have not been assigned in the data at this point to ARC, right?
So it's...
Jesus, those are all their loans?
They're all in their books somewhere.
Those are...
That's just 4 states.
No,
that's the data set that we've been using to door knock.
Yeah.
Because then it like focuses you. We've got this huge pool of 10,000 loans. We've knocked on doors where we know it's been assigned to ARC, but the borrower has no idea.
Clue. And you ask them, like, have you heard of this company? And they're like, I have no idea. But then in 2 weeks, they might hear, right? They might get a letter. So we've knocked on, between Noah and I, probably like hundreds of doors. You drive around these communities and you can see how widespread it is. This is the financialization of housing. It's really just a number on a spreadsheet. And if you've been paying your first mortgage and they can see what your home's worth, that's a prime candidate for them to sort of swoop in and start foreclosure proceedings. In most cases, they want to get people on a payment plan because they're paying pennies on the dollar on the debt. And then if they can get you on a payment plan, that often includes a down payment, they get money immediately, and then they're getting monthly payments. And then once it's sort of viewed as like good debt, they can sell that again to somebody else. Also, once they get people on a payment plan, the legal rights of the homeowner really start to wash away because like you agree that you owe this money. And so you're now on a plan for debt that you probably didn't owe.
You don't want to think that you're going to be out on the streets with your kids. Our dream was to have a house, and we wanted to maintain the house for our children. So we kind of just signed it away and agreed to the modifications. When you're desperate, that's when, you know, people try to take advantage of you financially.
Why should someone lose their home and all their equity because some Wall Street bro wants to make more money off somebody? Like, you know, making a profit of a 10% return on the investment is just not enough. They need 1,000% returns on their investment.
When you look at individual borrowers, it's a stark contrast to see how much of this is a transfer of wealth from middle and lower income Americans to a group of debt buyers or investors. You're seeing people lose their homes or being put on payment plans that are putting them into bankruptcy. Meanwhile, we see the debt buyers' wealth increase dramatically during this time period.
What our reporting really shows is that the tangible harm is happening. And this is an area where there's effectively no cop on the beat right now.
And the question is anyone going to pick up that work, or are these homeowners just going to be left, you know, to defend themselves?